All right, everyone, get ready because today we are going deep on a Ladakh itinerary. But this isn't just any trip. We're talking about experiencing Ladakh, where you've got this mix of ancient spirituality and then like heart-pumping Himalayan adventure. Think of high mountain passes, monasteries that are just like perched on these cliffs, and also this chance to really push your own limits. Are you ready to kind of explore this incredible region with us?
Oh, absolutely. I think what makes this Ladakh journey so unique is that it really does blend those contrasting elements that you're talking about. Like
Right.
like you can literally be trekking through this stark landscape one day, and then the next day you find yourself like deep in meditation at a monastery that's like 1,000 years old. It's really a journey for the soul and for the senses.
Okay, so let's unpack this itinerary a bit. Day one, we start in Leh, which sits at a pretty high altitude, right?
Yeah, Leh is like the gateway to Ladakh, and that elevation is something you really have to take seriously. We're not talking just a little headache here. Altitude sickness can really derail your whole trip if you don't acclimatize properly.
So first things first, we need to give our bodies time to adjust to that thinner air. No sprinting off the plane for us. But once we are acclimated, what kind of awaits us in Leh?
Well, Leh is this fascinating kind of blend of history and Tibetan Buddhist culture. The Leh Palace, for example, it's not just a pretty building, this former royal residence. It's built in the traditional Tibetan architectural style, and it dates all the way back to the 17th century. I mean,
Wow.
just imagine yourself standing on the rooftop and you're taking in these panoramic views of the town, and you have the Himalayas as a backdrop. It's like you're stepping back in time.
Okay, I can already picture the Instagram photos. What else should we explore while we're in Leh?
Well, the Shanti Stupa is a must-see. It's this gleaming white domed monument that was built relatively recently as a beacon of peace. It's a symbol of the resurgence of Buddhism in the region. And it also offers some really stunning views, especially at sunset.
So we go from a historical palace to a modern monument. Leh seems like it's a place of contrasts.
Exactly. And that contrast kind of continues as you wander through the Leh market. You'll find everything there from traditional Tibetan prayer wheels and hand-woven textiles to vibrant spices and all these local delicacies. It's sensory overload, but in a really good way.
Okay, speaking of sensory overload, day three takes us on a high altitude road trip to the Nubra Valley. What makes this drive so special?
Well, this isn't your typical Sunday drive. You're going to be traveling over Carding La Pass, which is one of the highest motorable roads in the entire world. And the landscape is stark and it's awe-inspiring. Imagine like a moonscape of jagged peaks set against this brilliant blue sky. You
Yeah.
want to make sure your camera batteries are charged for this one.
Oh, that sounds incredible. And where does this epic road lead us?
It leads to the Nubra Valley, which is a high-altitude desert valley. It's like stepping onto another planet. Picture these rolling sand dunes. They're just nestled between snow-capped peaks, and you'll be spending the night in a cozy camp under a sky that is bursting with stars.
Okay, I'm sold on the Nubra Valley already. What kind of adventures await us there?
Well, on day 4, you can experience something truly unique, and that is riding Bactrian camels, the two-humped kind. You get to ride them across the sand dunes of Hunter.
Wait, hold on. Camel riding in the Himalayas, that's definitely not something you see every day.
Right.
It seems like Nubra Valley is full of surprises.
It really is. You'll also be visiting the Diskit Monastery, which is home to this majestic 32-meter-tall statue of the Maitreya Buddha. Maitreya is believed to be the future Buddha, a symbol of hope and enlightenment, and this statue, it seems to just watch over the entire valley.
Okay, so we're exploring these ancient monasteries, we're riding camels through the desert, we're camping under the stars, all in the shadow of the Himalayas. What's next on this incredible journey?
Get ready for some serious wow factor, because on day 5, we're heading to Pangong.
Pangong, so that name rings a bell. Is that the one with that unbelievably blue water that seems to change color throughout the day?
You got it. Pangong Lake it's famous for its beauty. Imagine this crystal clear turquoise lake, so blue that almost doesn't even look real. It's reflecting the surrounding mountains, and because it stretches across the border into Tibet, it just has this incredible feeling of vastness and remoteness.
This definitely sounds like a place to unplug and just soak in the beauty of nature.
It truly is. You'll be camping right by the lake, which means you get to wake up with the sunrise painting the sky over the water, and then as night falls, you get to gaze up at the Milky Way with basically zero light pollution. It's an experience that makes you feel incredibly connected to the universe.
Wow, that's a powerful image. I can see why Pangong So is such a highlight of this trip, but we still have 5 more days to explore. What else does Ladakh have in store for us?
Well, on day 6, we're heading to Tomoriri, which is another high-altitude lake that's often kind of overshadowed by its more famous neighbor, Pangong. But what it lacks in fame, it makes up for in tranquility.
So, if Pangong Lake is like the life of the party, so Mariri is like that quiet, contemplative friend.
Exactly. So Moriri is surrounded by snow-capped peaks, but the landscape feels gentler, more serene. It's a place to truly disconnect, go for a peaceful hike, and maybe even spot some rare wildlife like the Tibetan wild ass or the black-necked crane.
Okay, so we've explored these bustling markets, ancient palaces, breathtaking lakes. This itinerary is packed with so much variety. What direction are we headed in next?
On day 7, we'll delve into the spiritual side of Ladakh with visits to Hemis and Thixi monasteries. Just imagine these prayer flags fluttering in the wind against a backdrop of stark, rocky mountains. You've got the scent of incense filling the air, and then the sound of monks chanting these ancient mantras.
It's amazing how this trip really seamlessly blends adventure with these moments of serenity and reflection. Can you tell me a little bit more about these monasteries?
Sure, Hemis is one of the largest and wealthiest monasteries in all of Ladakh. It's known for its impressive collection of ancient artifacts and scriptures. It belongs to the Drukpa lineage of Tibetan Buddhism, which is known for its colorful mask dances that are performed during festivals.
It sounds like Hemis is a place where history and spirituality truly come alive. What about Fixie?
Fixie Monastery is perched high on a hilltop, and it kind of resembles a miniature Potala Palace, which is the former residence of the Dalai Lama in Tibet. It's a place where you can really feel the weight of history and the devotion of generations of monks.
Both of those monasteries sound incredibly impactful. It's amazing how Ladakh's isolation has preserved this rich spiritual heritage. What awaits us on day 8?
Day 8 takes us on a journey back in time to Alki Monastery. This monastery is special because it's one of the oldest Buddhist monasteries in Ladakh. It was founded in the 11th century, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Wow, so we're talking about a historical treasure trove. What makes Alki so unique?
Well, its murals and artwork are incredibly well preserved, and they showcase this blend of Indian, Kashmiri, and Tibetan artistic influences. You'll see these intricate mandalas, depictions of Buddhist deities, and scenes from the life of Buddha himself. It's like stepping into a living art museum.
It's incredible to think that these works of art have survived for centuries, kind of hidden away in the remote reaches of the Himalayas. It seemed like every stop on this itinerary reveals a new layer of Ladakh's rich history and heritage. But day 9 takes a slightly different turn, right?
Yes, day 9 is all about choosing your own adventure. You have two options: adrenaline-pumping whitewater rafting on the Zanskar River, or an unforgettable trek through the stunning Marco Valley.
Oh, decisions, decisions. What makes each of these adventures so special? Paint a picture for me.
Okay, so if you choose whitewater rafting, you're going to be navigating through these rapids with these towering canyon walls on either side. The Zanskar River cuts through some of the most dramatic landscapes in the Himalayas. Imagine like shades of ochre, red, and purple in the rock formations as you paddle through this incredible gorge. It's a real test of your courage and teamwork.
Wow, that sounds exhilarating. But what about the Marca Valley trek? What kind of experience does that offer?
Well, the Marco Valley Trek is a classic Ladakhi adventure, and it offers a more immersive experience in that high-altitude landscape. You'll be trekking through high-altitude passes, camping amidst this stunning mountain scenery, and encountering remote villages along the way. It's a chance to really disconnect from the modern world and connect with nature and the local culture.
Both of those options sound incredible. It's tough to choose, but I have a feeling that no matter which path you take, day 9 is going to be a highlight of the trip. And then, sadly, all good things must come to an end. What awaits us on the final day of this incredible journey?
Day 10 brings us back to Leh, but the adventure isn't over just yet. The journey back is a scenic feast for the eyes, and once back in Leh, it's time to indulge in a farewell feast of Ladakhi delicacies.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about the food. What are some must-try dishes for someone experiencing Ladakhi cuisine for the first time?
You absolutely have to try momos, those delicious little dumplings filled with meat or vegetables. They're a staple in Tibetan culture, and they're incredibly comforting and flavorful. Then there's thukpa, a hearty noodle soup. That's perfect for warming you up on a chilly Leh evening.
Sounds delicious. Anything else we should add to our foodie bucket list?
Don't miss out on sky, A traditional Ladakhi pasta dish. It's made with root vegetables and dough. It's a unique and flavorful dish that you won't find anywhere else.
Mm.
And if you're feeling adventurous, try some yak butter tea. It's an acquired taste, but it's an integral part of Ladakhi culture.
Oh, my mouth is watering just thinking about all this amazing food. And of course, no trip is complete without picking up a few souvenirs.
Absolutely. Look out for those beautiful traditional woolen shawls known as pashmina. They're incredibly soft and warm, perfect for those chilly winter nights back home. You'll also find this really unique Ladakhi jewelry, often featuring turquoise and silver, which makes for a truly special souvenir.
Okay, so we've got stunning landscapes, incredible cultural experiences, heart-pumping adventure, delicious food, and unique souvenirs. It sounds like this 10-day Ladakh itinerary truly has it all.
It really does. It's a trip that's designed to appeal to a wide range of interests, whether you're seeking adventure, cultural immersion, or spiritual exploration.
I'm already feeling inspired to start planning my own Ladakh adventure. But before we jump ahead, let's pause here and reflect. If you were planning this trip for yourself, what experiences would you prioritize? What's standing out to you the most from these first 10 days?
What really stands out for me is the way this itinerary encourages you to slow down and savor each moment.
Hmm.
It's not about rushing from one site to the next. It's about truly immersing yourself in the unique atmosphere of each place.
I think that's such an important point to keep in mind as we continue exploring Ladakh in part two of this deep dive. We'll be back after a short break to uncover even more hidden gems and unforgettable experiences.
Welcome back to our Ladakh deep dive. We've just scratched the surface of this incredible region, exploring these ancient monasteries, breathtaking landscapes, and even like the possibility of camel riding in the Himalayas. And as we kind of move into the second part of our exploration, I think it's important to remember that this 10-day itinerary we're talking about is just a starting point. Ladakh is a place that really invites you to delve a little deeper, to create your own, unique adventure based on your interests and what you're passionate about.
So for those of us who might want to venture off the beaten path a bit, what other hidden gems do you think we should consider adding to our Ladakh adventure?
Well, if you're really looking to connect with the heart and soul of Ladakh, I'd say consider spending some time in its villages. A lot of the villages offer homestays, which gives you a chance to experience Ladakhi hospitality firsthand. Imagine like sharing a meal with a local family, learning about their traditions, maybe even trying your hand at making momos from scratch.
That sounds like an incredibly enriching experience, a chance to really connect with a culture that's so different from our own. What else can we explore beyond those main tourist attractions?
For those who, just crave adventure, Ladakh is a trekker's paradise. There are trails for every level, from like gentle day hikes to multi-day treks that will challenge even most experienced adventurers. Imagine traversing those high-altitude passes with these panoramic views of snow-capped peaks and valleys that are just carpeted in wildflowers.
You're painting quite the picture. Are there any specific treks you'd recommend for someone looking for a truly unforgettable experience?
If you're up for a challenge, the Stock Kangri trek is a must-do. It's the highest trekkable peak in all of India, and reaching the summit is an accomplishment you'll never forget. But even if you're not looking to conquer a peak, there's just countless other trails that offer those breathtaking views and a chance to just immerse yourself in that raw beauty of the Himalayas.
So we've got homestays for the cultural explorers and then challenging treks for the adventurers. What about those of us who are drawn to that spiritual side of Ladakh? Are there other monasteries or practices we should explore?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
While Hemis and Thixie are impressive and historically significant, Ladakh is home to just countless other monasteries, each with its own unique energy and atmosphere. Some some lesser known but equally fascinating monasteries include Lamayuru, which is known for its almost moon-like landscape, and Taktak, which is one of the few monasteries in Ladakh that belongs to the Nyingma tradition of Tibetan Buddhism.
Can you explain a bit more about the Nyingma tradition? For those of us who aren't familiar with the different schools of Tibetan Buddhism, it would be helpful to understand what makes Tok Tok unique.
Of course, the Nyingma tradition is is considered the oldest school of Tibetan Buddhism. It's known for its emphasis on esoteric practices and its rich collection of tantric teachings. Tok Tok Monastery, with its ancient murals and secluded location, it offers a glimpse into this mystical side of Tibetan Buddhism.
It sounds like you could spend weeks, even months, exploring the monasteries of Ladakh and still only scratch the surface.
You're absolutely right. And for those seeking a truly transformative experience, you could even consider attending a meditation retreat at one of the monasteries. Imagine yourself disconnecting from the digital world,
Hmm.
immersing yourself in the silence of the mountains and just dedicating yourself to mindfulness and meditation. It's a chance to reconnect with your inner self and find a sense of peace that you might not find anywhere else.
It seems like Ladakh offers a path to spiritual growth for anyone who seeks it, whether through visiting these ancient monasteries or engaging in deeper practices like meditation.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual growth either. These monasteries, they play a vital role in preserving Tibetan Buddhist culture and providing education and support to the local community.
So we've got homestays, we've got trekking, we've got meditation retreats. It's amazing how much Ladakh has to offer beyond this already incredible 10-day itinerary.
And let's not forget about the festivals. Ladakh has this vibrant cultural calendar filled with festivals that offer a unique window into the traditions and beliefs of the Ladakhi people.
Festivals are such a fantastic way to experience a culture in its most authentic form.
Hmm.
What are some of the highlights of Ladakh's festival calendar?
One of the most popular festivals is the Hemis Festival, which is held annually at Hemis Monastery. It celebrates the birth of Guru Padmasambhava, who's the founder of Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah.
It's a spectacular event featuring masked dances, traditional music, and these elaborate costumes. Imagine being surrounded by just this sea of vibrant colors. The air is thick with incense. You've got this rhythmic beating of drums. It's an experience that transports you to another world.
That sounds truly mesmerizing. Are there any other festivals that kind of stand out?
Well, the Ladakh Festival is another highlight. It showcases the region's diverse culture through traditional dances, music performances, archery competitions, and even polo matches. It's a chance to witness that unique cultural heritage of Ladakh and celebrate the resilience and adaptability of its people.
It's clear that Ladakh offers a rich tapestry of experiences from the spiritual to the adventurous and everything in between.
And it's a reminder that travel isn't just about ticking off destinations on a list. It's about opening yourself up to new experiences, connecting with different cultures, and discovering those hidden gems that you might not find in any guidebook.
So if you were planning your own Ladakh adventure, what would be your top priority? Would you be drawn to the peaceful serenity of a monastery, the thrill of conquering a mountain peak, or the immersive experience of living with a local family?
And how can you tailor this 10-day itinerary to fit your own unique travel style and interests? Take a moment to reflect on those questions as we prepare to wrap up our Ladakh deep dive in the final part of this episode.
Welcome back to our Ladakh deep dive. We've covered so much, from ancient monasteries perched on cliffs to those heart-pumping adventures on the Zanskar River. And we've even tasted some of Ladakh's incredible cuisine. I'm still thinking about those momos.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? What's really struck me is how this 10-day itinerary manages to capture the essence of Ladakh,
Mm.
the adventure, the spirituality, the cultural immersion, without feeling overwhelming. It feels like a really carefully curated experience that allows you to just savor each moment.
I totally agree. It's not just about checking things off a list, right? It's about slowing down, opening yourself up to these new experiences, and allowing yourself to be transformed by this incredible place.
And speaking of transformation, I think one of the things that makes Ladakh so special is the resilience and adaptability of its people. They've thrived in this really challenging environment for centuries,
Yeah.
preserving their culture and traditions against all odds.
That's a powerful reminder that travel isn't just about seeing new places. It's about learning from different cultures, appreciating their unique perspectives, and broadening our understanding of the world.
Exactly. In a world that's becoming increasingly homogenized, I think it's more important than ever to seek out places like Ladakh that offer a different pace of life, a chance to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with nature, with ourselves, and with something larger than ourselves.
You've touched on something that's been resonating with me throughout this whole deep dive. There's this sense of peace and connection that just seems to permeate Ladakh, a feeling that's really hard to find in our busy modern lives.
It's the kind of feeling that stays with you long after you've returned home. It's a reminder to slow down, to appreciate the simple things, and to approach life with a sense of wonder and curiosity.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought. Ladakh is waiting. It's a place that invites you to explore, to challenge yourself, to connect with something deeper, and to create memories that will last a lifetime.
We've given you the map, but the adventure is yours to create. So what are you waiting for? Start planning your own Ladakh adventure today.
And be sure to share your stories with us. We can't wait to hear about the transformative journey that awaits you in the heart of the Himalayas. Until next time, happy travels.